Look who's here, it's Edgar. He's shy. Are you ready? Okay, here you go, buddy. Here, Edgar, come on, go get it. You got it, come on. Oh, it's too thick for him? He's a pain in the ass. Here, go get it. Come on. You don't want to get it? Come on. Go get it.
Don Reapy, the Jamaica Bay Guardian for the American Littoral Society since 2003.
Fell in love with nature as a Boy Scout. His work, home, and volunteering all revolve around Jamaica Bay.
These marshes near southern Queens and Brooklyn help protect the city from surging seas and superstorms. They are also disappearing at an alarming rate.
Reapy says the marsh islands not only protect the coast, but serve as a habitat for many different species of wildlife who also call Jamaica Bay home. In Broad Channel, Clodagh McGowan, New York 1.
It's the garter snake. Oh, it's the first one of the year. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
And we found the garter snake and Tom didn't want
It's gonna bite me in the nose.
Oh my God, Don.
Okay.
Thank you, little snake.
Okay.
This is the best day of my life.
Take my picture. This is the best day of your life? My God. You got a boring life. Take my picture.
All right. Ready?
So Don, mouth on like you're that tall.
1, 2.
No. I love the ocean. I love the bay. I just love to be out in the field. It's such a sense of freedom. You see beautiful colors. You see constant pageantry of birds migrating through. You know, thousands of ducks and geese coming in the marshes. There's a ruddy duck right there, right close by. He just went under. It's one of the diving ducks. Oh, did
He's the best. I'm a fan. I think he's just like, he's one of my heroes.
He's not.
He makes nature
Precious.
accessible. It's like, he makes it fun.
But he's also not precious about it either.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I picked it up.
Yeah.
You know, come on, eat a little more. You know, it's not. He's not precious.
He inspires people. That's what I'd say.
There's a little duck. When you do it for so many years, people tend to think you're a legend, but I don't like the term legend. That means you're getting older, you're going to die soon. If you're going to be a legend, you don't want to be a legend.
I could not have predicted someone like Don Reapy, not in a million years.
2.
His depth of knowledge about the environment, about the animals, his knowledge about the islands themselves.
Be careful walking around. When you see the taller grasses, you're near a creek.
Okay.
The short grasses here are good. All right, you have your cell phone.
My project, The Islands of New York, is my vision of all the islands of New York City. This became even more critical when I've noticed that the idea of climate change and sea level rise wasn't just words. It was something real that people lived through.
Let me think. Did I cock the shutter? I forgot to cock the shutter.
Although there are some islands in Jamaica Bay that are sinking now, they're mostly breaking up now because the water's rising faster than they are able to create landmass. A couple of the islands that I photographed may not be around in 10 years.
Yes. Your work is historical because 100 years from now, that may not exist anymore.
That may not, no. This is the sad thing. A lot of my work, I like to think that I'm documenting the landscape or what.
As it was.
But it's as it was. It's a moving target, absolutely.
If you want to take a picture of me 100 years from now, I may not be here.
I had to fill out a form. Don has become the guardian of Jamaica Bay. I want to imagine him swashbuckling a boat rather like a spaceship, almost like, you know, part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But no, he's a real guardian. He's a real person. He's not a vigilante. He's thinking about balance. He's thinking about ecological balance.
Couple of months, I'm going to be 85, right? So I know I'm in the last trimester of life here. So things become a little more serious. What I want to leave behind is people that I've educated over the years to get them to love nature and what we have here in the Bay, because they say that you'll only protect what you love. I grew up in an area not far from here, Ozone Park, where there was a big farm when I was a kid. And every day I was playing in nature. And when I started seeing it disappearing, I'd say, what happened? Why are they filling that in? That beautiful area that would have these tall oak trees, magnificent. They cut it down and put a motel there. I said, come on. I said, what's happening with the adults here? Am I the only one that cares about this, you know? Although I remember in high school, the guidance counselor told me, okay, so what are your plans? What do you think you want to do after graduation? I said, well, I'd like to be either a forest ranger or a farmer. He looked at me like, hey kid, you know, get real. You know, you're not gonna be a farmer. You live in New York City. Got a job with the National Park Service, worked there for 25 years. And then I was offered the position of Jamaica Bay Guardian by the state. I live in Broad Channel, which is a small community in the middle of Jamaica Bay. My house is almost like a boat. Sometimes it is a boat. You know, when there's a coastal storm and you have a new moon or a full moon and a northeast wind, I'm going to get water in the house. During Sandy, I had 5.5 feet of water right here in the kitchen.
As Superstorm Sandy roared into New York Monday night with fierce rains and strong winds, much of the city was plunged into darkness.
Here in New York tonight, there is already a state of emergency. Authorities are scrambling to keep more than 8 million people safe here.
This is a massive storm. Hurricane force winds extend some 175 miles in every direction of this center.
At 8:30 in the morning tide was already in the street. You know, the streets were flooded, but the hurricane was was going to hit 12 hours later, the next high tide. So I knew it was going to be bad. The whole neighborhood, everybody, this place was a lake. Everything is gone. The whole downstairs is totally trashed. I didn't expect it this bad. You can see the water level right here. There was nobody that got away unscathed. And it was considered to be a 500-year storm. But who knows? Could occur, anytime. Yeah, I can't give you a time frame, but, with climate change and warming oceans and stronger storms. But a lot of people living on the edge here may have to leave. If this house falls in the bay tomorrow and everything, I did what I could. Not too bad. A good moon tide, but no real major wind, which is good. So it's not going to come in the house. That's all I care about. It might come up to the edge of the curb, but that would be it. Not so bad. You can see how this slopes down a little here? So the house is kind of settling. Even though I had new pilings put under here, but they're kind of sinking a little. So the water's coming in here. Even if it comes in here, it's not going to damage anything as long as I have everything up. It's a little scary. We've noticed over the years, in the last 40 years I've been here, that the higher tides, every decade you get another couple of inches of water coming in. So that's a lot more water coming in at the high tides. You just can't totally relax. Which reminds me of the movie Jurassic Park. When the dinosaur was coming, they knew it was coming because there was a glass of water on the table and it was shaking, boom. Every time the dinosaur hit, boom, boom. That happens here sometimes when there's a strong northwest wind hitting my dock. When a wave comes and pounds the dock, the house shudders. I could feel it. Nature doesn't take a holiday, it's constant. Day and night, tide after tide, storm after storm. It's worth it to me to live here because I like living close to nature. Bon appetit. My daily routine is I get up in the morning. First of all, the cat insists that I get up, Otherwise, I'd probably still be sleeping. But the cat will sit across me and meow until I get out of bed. Then I have to go downstairs with her. Even though she's perfectly capable of going downstairs herself, I'll have a laughing goat sitting on the dock, So he wants a little something to be fed. And the herring gull hangs out here, would like something. And then later on, a great egret shows up and walks in the house. So this is a regular stopover for these animals, because they know I'm a soft touch, that I'm gonna feed them something. They bring a lot of joy to me, just to see them, for me to interact with the animal kingdom, the animal world. I've always loved animals, and always liked to see, I always get excited. I'm one of those people that when I take the subway and I see a rat on the tracks, I get excited. And sometimes I'll say, hey, there's a rat. And people are like, oh my God. I said, no, it's fine. He's fine over there. You know, isn't it amazing that they can survive? And, you know, the animal kingdom is so diverse, and there's so many different species of everything that it's just amazing. You know, Earth is an amazing place to live. Here they are, big female, little male. Hooks. The first two claws are hooks. Oh my goodness, she's getting away. There's a crab. Give me a horseshoe crab, I have your attention, especially if you're a kid. This is a little hitchhiker, that's a little slipper shell. The horseshoe crabs, so it's an iconic species to us in the Bay. It's a great tool. Yeah. A leg. Looks like a little monster. Anybody want a leg? I'm not a leg. This is a living dinosaur. But don't drop him. You got him? There you go. Worth a picture.
I thought it was incredibly interesting to learn about these creatures who have been around for millions of years and haven't evolved at all. So the fact that we're able to do something and see something like this in New York City is amazing.
Wildlife is not something that you think about when you think about New York City. You think about, you know, Broadway and Yankees and baseball. It's rare that you think about a horseshoe crab migration laying eggs on the beach. So to be part of that in New York City is pretty extraordinary.
Okay, so my name is Canelma Perez, born and raised in New York, but raised on sidewalks. So I never knew of all the wonderful natural jewels of New York City until I met Don, and seeing the horseshoe crabs, seeing them together, we saw a pair on a date.
I did it all by myself.
Horseshoe crabs are a really big part of our community.
It's kind of sad if they go.
It's like
We live in a snow globe. We are all connected, and you compare how areas were in the past and how they keep changing due to global warming. We are really the catastrophic event that is making the next mass extinction come faster, in my opinion.
If you find a tagged one, you can help find where it's been and where it's going. Find out more about that.
This is front page photographs. Excellent. Wow. Beautiful, thank you. I'm somewhat pessimistic. You know, things are not going to get better if we still have a problem with global warming and sea level rise. It worries me that it's going to change the world for the next generation. Whatever you grow up, that's the standard, and that generation will think that that's normal. Here we go. But I think it's better for nature, better for us in the long run, if we somehow are able to protect the wildlife. It was the love of life when I was young, which led me out in summer to explore. The daybreak world, a bird's first notes were sung, for childhood standing at the garden door. That loneliness it was which made me wise when I looked out and saw dark trees against strangely brightening skies, and learnt the love of earth that is my law. The love of life is my religion still, steadfast through rigorous nights, companioned only by what I am and what I strive to be. I seek no mystery now beyond the hill, and wait no change, but to become more lonely, no freedom till the sleep that sets me free. So it's set. And we're just gonna put it off the dock. Nice, the water's nice and red, pretty. You get beautiful sunsets here because you can see the horizon. You can see the sun go all the way down. And you got the city there. And then the city lights up at night. It's pretty at night. All the birds are going to roost wherever they go. My little friends up there. I love their cute little sound. When I die, they're gonna float me and they're gonna put me on a raft and float me out there and shoot a flaming arrow into it, you know, and incinerate me. Like the good old days.